Hey guys, welcome back to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you very much to our patrons who support us, give us a little bit of monetary support so we can do cool stuff like getting character art commissions. I'm super excited. I have admired our artist for a while and found out that they were open for commissions. They do mage stuff, and yes, please. And I convinced the rest of the cabal that they were like, oh yeah, we dig this artist too. So shout out to our patrons: Thomas, Cinna, Sebastian, Schmitty, Ryan, Roviscribe, Puppeteer, Perry, Other Michael, Noba, Moku, Michael, Melissa, Catfeathers, Josh, John, James, Giovanni, Emil, Doc, Brandon, Bernie, Badur, Alexander, Alan, Michael, and Adam. Thank you guys very much for your support. As a small little thing, I will mention that we are 75% of the way to our goal of $200 a month. So I can basically hire my wife to do some video edits and help me out. And so we might do some additional stuff. Actually, a couple folks have mentioned even doing a little catch up, either like write or post or maybe a little short vid. So like, hey, you've missed the past couple of stuff. Here's in a couple minutes where we're at. So instead of having to watch everything, you could get caught up real quick. Just watch all these short little videos and be back to live. So that might be something that we do. We'll play it by ear. I'd also even maybe round up these guys and be like, hey, Wyrd, you summoned a rank 5 freaking Moira, and you didn't ask Songbird. What was Wyrd's thought process to that? Mostly, she wanted to do it herself, which, considering where this is going, makes sense. So, speaking of which, Wyrd just summoned a rank 5 Moira, a supernal being of fate and space, about connections and the fates and things like that. And of course, lo and behold, here is Maiden, Matron, and Crone asking her, hey, yeah, you want to safeguard your future? Well, not safeguard, but tie it to something else. We need something as recompense. We want your past. All your thoughts, all your concerns, all the things that weigh on you now, all the things that have influenced you. You can keep the history, you can keep the memories, but all those feelings that you have about them, those are ours now. You give up that, and we give you your cabal.
Deal.
And actually, I think the maiden reaches her hand forward, takes yours. Then the matron takes and kind of completes the little grass, and the crone lays her hand on top and says, "Let it be done." And they're gone in a flash because they are no longer needed here. And like that, Wyrd's past, just I imagine in my head, especially being a time mage, right? You see it all. Perfect recall. Zip through. And as a neutral observer, you can see it. You understand how these events all led up to this point. But there is no anger. There's no sadness. There's no happiness. There's no joy. You watch Christmases pass with amazing gifts, and you watch dispassionately up until this moment where you're suddenly there with this probably new tie that kind of wraps tight and clings to you and draws you not in a specific direction, but you feel these ties that link out to 4 other people. Had to do some quick math. And, you feel them not quite like another heartbeat, but you can feel that they're out there. And I believe you need to deduct some XP.
Yes.
As Wyrd founds her legacy on the shoulders of her cabal. Founded and sponsored by the Fates themselves. And if that's not the most weird thing I've ever heard of, that's pretty top.
Apparently people want gifs of my face.
It is a pretty good face.
We'll make it happen, folks. Get on Discord, remind me, especially, because I try to do that every now and then, but I'm like, is this really GIF worthy? I don't know. But if you have GIFs, and legitimately, if you have specific GIFs from way back.
Sponsored by Roll20 and the face themselves.
Yep. But yeah, if you legitimately, guys, if you have like clips or bits where you're like, oh my gosh, that was so great, let me know, because I have the raw files. I will go gift them. I will go clip them. I will do whatever we need to do. We will store them. Maybe we'll do a silly, give me a couple different things. We'll have some themes. We'll have some like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Or, oh my God, that was so funny. Or, oh God, the puns. And we'll make a couple montage videos or something. I don't know. On Discord. Yeet into .space. Anyways.
So like this link that's been made, will it also apply to any new members of the Cabal? Like, will you form that tie with them also?
Yep. As long as they're officially members. We kind of glossed over it before, but, Titus and Network also, sent their oaths. Right. Yeah. And, because we kind of just, zipped by it a little bit. But yeah, they took the oaths. They're part of the Rookery. And yes.
That feels super weird. Because you can feel the connection happening.
Yeah. Now, that's it.
Because that's a two-way thing, right?
Do we feel it?
It's a two-way thing.
Okay.
You guys have effectively a sympathetic connection to Wyrd. It is very different. You guys don't really feel anything, and probably over the next hour, the initial surge of sensation is going to fade for Wyrd, but she still has those connections beyond that, which a normal Cabal member might have connections to her Cabal mates. And there's
we have the one that we already had to her, but now she's got like a super strong one to just the Cabal as a thing.
To the Cabal as a thing, and to each Cabal member is basically heightened a little bit, and then has special little, because it's fate in space is her legacy. So messing with those connections is kind of her thing. And Wyrd, well, we have it written. I think we actually posted it in our Discord chat. So if you guys want to see, but your character's probably going to be a while before Wyrd actually lets you know what she's done. I don't know. Maybe it'll be here in a minute. But yes, sorry. The Fates leave. And, there's that quiet of just observing, feeling the other Cabal mates. And like I said, as a little bit of time passes, it kind of fades into the background. And there's, kind of a bit of silence. And there's this very hesitant knock on the door. just a little knock, no words.
I'll get up and walk to the door.
Throw a robe on, open to the door.
There's no robe in there, so I'm still naked, but I'll open up the door.
And yeah, you see Steven, who's like looking a little bit concerned and like peeking in. And then once he sees you and the door opens, you can see he's got a camp chair set up. He's got a little camp furnace fire thing. He's got a little cooler.
Coffee pot.
Yeah, he looks like he's just kind of been chilling and just kind of set up. He's like, I'm going to be sitting here for a bit. So Summer's not here. He's like, yeah, I've been here for the past couple hours. Summer I did the first shift while Summer went and picked up some stuff for me. She hung out while I went and got something to eat and supplies. And he legitimately has s'mores. He has graham crackers. He has marshmallows. He has chocolate. He's like, I'm set. I'm probably going to need real food soon, but this is,
offers you a s'more.
I hold up my arms and offer him a hug.
I'm gonna need you to put on some clothes first.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay. Scamper off.
Yeah.
Put some clothes on and come back.
You wash off some of the ash and stuff. And okay.
No,
okay.
I think I want to leave it on for a little bit. But
just gonna leave it on for a bit. Okay.
Offer him a hug and thank you, Stephen. This was. I don't have the words to tell you how helpful this was.
Good. Can you explain to me where the other voices came from? I couldn't hear words. I just could hear talking. I may have leaned up against the door a couple times. For the longest time, it was just you. And then past couple minutes, there were other voices. And like, he kind of looks in, like, dead end.
Do you remember the conversation we had about reality?
Sure, yeah.
Well, there are beings that live in other realities. And sometimes, with great effort and no small amount of risk, you can contact them.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
I believe you. Okay. Cool. And yeah, just for clarity, because the Fates and Wyrd would have been speaking high speech, there's no way he made out anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all of this would have been gibberish to him, and then 3 more people speaking gibberish. Okay, cool. What time is it? Actually,
well, they showed up at 7, and it was an hour.
It was 7 hours.
An hour in meditation.
And 8 hours total.
Yeah, so 8 hours total.
Okay, yeah. So he's like,
3 in the morning.
Breakfast?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
Go find a 24-hour diner.
Yeah. Greasy spoon. Yeah. And you guys go off. Is there any specific conversation you have with him other than just,
just taking his temperature and how he's feeling after tonight? And
yeah, you can definitely tell he's starting to believe some stuff, and like there's enough unexplainable, weirdness going on that, he's, we're not to the point of Jimmy's, like questing and searching and stuff like that. But he's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't add up, and this doesn't add up, and this doesn't add up. And how the hell was that play so successful? And who are these people that are, joining and hanging out? Like, Summer, who was just a member of, just one of the other actresses. And, now she's like, yeah, I'm on board with, this weird ritual thing. Okay.
Sewer body paint or right. Subway body paint.
We got to kind of stop calling it a sewer, to be fair. But yeah, it is Subway. But yes, it is abandoned Subway. And, yeah, okay. But yeah.
I also want to find out how Christopher Wallace is doing.
Christopher is doing good. You said subtle, so I'm just being subtle. But yeah, I keep talking, and he's mentioned, he's asked, hey, where do you go? And I'm like, oh yeah, there's this cool, abandoned subway station. So one of these days I'm expecting he's gonna like follow me here, or he's just gonna wander off himself, or yeah.
I just I arranged for a bit of a surprise. How did he take that?
Which surprise are you referring to?
Do you remember the silver rose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that has been odd and missing.
Just something I did to prod, I guess. Nudge.
You did.
I arranged for it.
Okay, you were talking to aliens earlier, so you know what? Sure, absolutely. Okay.
All right.
Also, let me point out, absolutely most straightforward labyrinth ever. By the way, there's aliens that we can summon. But
one last thing, just because I think you might find this interesting. Do you remember that coin that first led you to me?
Sure. And I had to give it back, and you threw it into the rivers? I can't remember. You got rid of it.
I did. Do you know where that coin is now?
I haven't a clue.
In Christopher Wallace's pocket.
Oh, that's a cool trick. I'll have to ask him.
I had nothing to do with it.
Sure, right.
I just set the conditions in motion, and the coin found its way to
the worst labyrinth ever.
Okay.
It's a straight line.
It's a straight line. That's all right. You got to do that with the first couple of them, and then you start ending.
I didn't arrange for the coin to end up in Christopher Wallace's pocket specifically. I just let fate take it where it would, and it ended up in his pocket.
No, I think we're more talking about the fact that you're like, supernal beings, totally a thing. Like, this is a cryptopoly, man. Go join the Silver Ladder. Anyways.
Well, I figure this is something that he can grasp a little easier, right?
Yeah. So, it's like, okay, I'll...
and make sure you text Summer and let her know that it's all good. And
oh, yeah, I'm sure he did that, like, as you guys left. Yeah. Cool. So we can put that on hold. And so it is now Wednesday. So it's been a couple days since we last checked in with Atratus and Songbird. Anything specific you guys have been up to?
For me, it was more like, cool, we're just going to take like a day and sort of reel from the
fact that my ghost of my brother is headed to the underworld. Sure.
Yep. And okay.
Good. I didn't know.
Yeah. So I've kind of come to some conclusions.
Cool.
Which is all right. So this is like my last real connection to my old life is leaving me.
Emily Miller.
So how about we just end that entirely?
Which, coming from anybody but a necromancer and a Moros, that would be terrifying. But this is just a necromancer.
Yeah, like I've been effectively living as a different person this whole time anyway.
Right.
So let's make it official.
Through and through. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to. Initially, I was thinking I would call up someone who's like, so how do I legally kill myself? But I'm a necromancer and a Moros, and I know how to do that. So I'm going to call up Factory because she told me to hit her up if I need a body.
Yep.
And
that's right. You got somebody. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like I can't bring it back. But I need a corpse. So yeah, I'm gonna call her up.
Okay. So yeah, she picks up and okay, Atratus, this is like 3 times in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at, I'm digging this. I like this back and forth. How are we doing? What's up?
Hi. I have decided to get rid of my old identity. Like the sleeper identity.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I feel like a good solid way to do that is to just like legally kill myself off.
Okay.
So to do that, I need a body.
Well, my normal question is, are you going to desecrate and besmirch or in some way, bring shame to whoever used to inhabit this body? But it sounds like, no, this is going to a good purpose. So big check mark off on that concern.
It's going to be turned into me.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Okay. That totally tracks. Have you contacted the Silver Ladder?
No. Is that something I need to discuss with them?
Not so much discuss as they're like the bureaucratic gurus. They legitimately have a I'm done being a sleeper packet. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, like you're give them your social, all your credit card numbers, all that stuff, and they'll do
the paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know of at least one mage who legitimately has an oblation to do bureaucratic forms.
Handy.
They're into it, man.
But okay, cool. I don't understand things.
That's a gift.
Well, in that case, do I need the body? I feel like it would help.
Normally there's a Silver Ladder Moros who would probably check in with you and help. But I mean, yeah, if you can handle it, and I'll be honest, it's a creative outlet. Because let's be honest, if and you can hear her like pausing, and she's like, yeah, Emily Miller needs to die. I mean, you want to make the news in your hometown? Because we can get fancy.
No, I'm kind of just trying to keep it low-key.
Okay, Sure.
Something like a car crash. I don't know. What normally kills 23-year-olds?
Overdose.
Honestly, that would probably make sense. I had to kind of drop out of the entire world in my life for the past few months. It's believable.
Yeah. Okay. And she gives you the address to morgue. I'm trying to remember, morgue or mortuary. Either way.
Morgue. Mortuary doesn't hold on to them for very long.
Right. And basically, so we don't waste a whole bunch of time with it. But yeah, basically, she gives you the name and address for a place and a guy to chat with who basically is going to hook you up with somebody who is basically going to have a closed casket funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's going to be not a great looking body, but for your purposes, it's going to work. He's like, yeah, and the guy is a sleepwalker. And basically, he gives you the idea of if the corpse doesn't need to be seen, we do these, and the ones that need to like walk around and be walking zombies and need to be a little bit prettier, those either require a little bit more work or are a little bit harder to get. But if you're not picky, and so he provides, there's a body bag, and that's all you. I can help you. Did you bring a car?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you transport this.
Right, we're not gonna worry about that level of.
We're gonna say we did it.
Yeah, and so just because, and I feel bad because last time you're like, oh, I should use telepathy so we can get into the nearest. So I was like, we can handle it. I am denying you the chance to get arcane beats, and I apologize for that. So yes, let us roll some quick spells here for. So
it would be like a better version. Where does my PDF
corpse
going?
mask?
Okay, there. Yeah. Like it needs to be more than just what that does because I'm trying to change the corpse itself to look like me.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the +1 reach. Can completely change their appearance, even allowing to change their apparent age and sex.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So for each, I need the +1.
I mean, you can take it back to your domain.
Yeah, I can do it over. Okay, and when the spell runs out, it's going to go back to its old self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need it to last.
Yep. So right now, because you have 4 dots in death and it's a duration spell, it already lasts for a year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. It should be buried by then.
Right.
Okay, so just the bonus reach, right? Well, whatever. I'm doing it in my domain. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, 8, 5, 13 is our new baseline.
13.
3
successes.
So yeah, and I imagine you make the time of death look fairly recent. And do you leave it somewhere dramatic or?
I mean,
just kind of.
No. Again, I don't want this to be like a big thing that people would super take notice of. Yeah.
Sure.
I just kind of want it to.
We can launch it off the top of the roof if you want.
Right. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm not trying to destroy it. I used to just be like, oh, you OD'd and passed out in like an alley or something.
Right.
That's not in our territory.
Yes.
So we just launch it from the roof.
We yeeted over to Jersey. I imagine the silver ladder actually will take the body, and that plus the various paperwork, and they handle everything from there. Just that we don't drag this out because this could be really weird and morbid and and so, within the next few weeks, body found, identified, and then all your student loans are going to be gone.
Oh, man.
If only it was that easy. Righto. So, yes. Within the next week or so, Emily Miller is declared dead, and the entire Miller family, at this point has passed away. There's, the whole house. I think I'm trying to remember. You guys still had it.
It would have been listed up for sale because we weren't living there and we weren't planning on moving back.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So at that point, this branch of the Miller family is kind of tied off.
Gone.
Yep.
Question from Discord. Didn't you have professional contacts?
I did. I wasn't using them anyway, so.
Okay.
Which actually brings us to the
sounds like some Sanctum of Merits.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sanctum of Sanctity.
Sanctum of Merits. Yes. So
Sanctum
we will
of
discuss
Merits.
that over the break and kind of see what adjustments we possibly need to make to some of that. So because we'll have to go through and be like, okay, what stuff of Emily is no longer available, and so some of that professional training stuff might have to change around. We'll take a look. We'll do that later, guys. We got a game to play right now. I don't get mana back from handling paperwork. So, Chris, I think you had said Songbird had some stuff going on.
I'm just making myself hell available at the Armory.
Gotcha.
Working on things that need to be done, like there to talk to, Pip and Moonkeeper and Red whenever I'm needed.
Okay.
Working on some more of those plans with Colossus.
Oh, your big obsession plans. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's definitely actually he probably even sends you to the Mysterium a couple times. We're not going to worry about it too much. But or actually probably an adamantine arrow, and trying to find things that will have an appropriate sympathy and connections and stuff like that for what you're wanting to do, because this is definitely going to move beyond, well, we physically need some iron, and perfected iron would be best, but no, we need to take this up a couple notches because this is going to be crazy. So cool. I'm trying to think if there's any specific scenes we really need to set for that, or I guess it's just kind of time passing.
Yeah, time passing. Maybe like a scene with Moonkeeper.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I think that's probably a big thing that he's probably going to be asking about is, so now that you're coming along, and this is this 15-year-old kid, looking up, and
he's 25.
Yes, that's true. Looks like he's 15, but says, so if you're going to be coming along, not that it matters too much because the fates will know, but what is your intent? Are you trying to get in and lay this, leech out yourself? Because right now the assumption was, Red was going to do the deed, but all this talk of, and I love it, but a blade made of light, that's not exactly his thing.
Well, I just said, a blade made of light is not my thing either.
Okay.
But weapons made of light, bullets made of light, fists made of light.
Okay.
These are all things we can work with.
That's true.
And if I am required, or if I am asked, or if I have the opportunity to do the deed, as you say, then of course I am willing.
Okay.
But I do not intend to, what is the term the kids say? Kill steal?
Sure. You're not that old. But yeah. And so he nods. There's definitely probably a little bit of a flinch when you say the things that kids say. But
good.
He kind of nods, and he's definitely trying to get a read off of you, which I imagine is like you're giving him the super cool, like cold, just like professional.
I don't like this guy.
Right.
I think he's a fucking flunky, and like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Wyrd and oh shoot, what's her name? My friend that I haven't seen forever.
Onyx, yes. It's like
Onyx.
I have to go through the
like
list.
Wyrd and Onyx are the only two Occultists
luck
that have
witch.
like
Yeah.
have earned my respect at all. Like I don't. Like I know death is my inferior arcana, but I think fate's right there with it. Like I just don't
Just on a
understand it, and I
personal
don't
level.
respect
Well,
it.
and especially when you talk about it, Brimos are very, very hands-on, and
Yeah.
Songbird is a step above that. So fate
Yeah.
being very indirect is
Yeah.
another thing entirely. So he kind of nods. He goes, "Okay, good. All right, I'll let you know if I need anything." And kind of.
Keep up with those divinations, I guess.
I will. Yeah. He's not. But I mean, and it's Songbird's intent, Chris's intent at least. That it's like, no, we're not buddies. You are a Thunderbolt Guardian, and therefore, have X amount of respect, bare minimum, and that's the bare minimum.
Like every sentence is with all due respect implied.
Sure. Cool. So yeah, in that case, with nothing else immediately coming up that I can think of, we may have a small time skip. So if there's anything else you guys are thinking about doing in the immediate future,
just keeping our ears open for anything from Abaddon and anything from Chico, if she was planning on getting back in touch with me or anything like that.
Yeah, Chico does not reach back out. Abaddon actually probably, because I think he said 3 days, but I can't remember. But we'll say
I didn't think he gave any sort of timeline.
Okay. Oh, it's because you have his number.
Right.
So I imagine sometime after Wyrd has her summoning and founds her legacy, which, by the way, how many attainment levels did you get? Because I know you had been stockpiling some XP.
Yeah, no, just I blew that all on Mornosis. So just the one for now.
Okay. And so, imagine, there's probably a family dinner sometime after that where you guys are kind of all together. And Abaddon, calls, or has called, texted something, and, said, hey, when are we next going to meet so we can finalize plans?
So, question for us then. Are we doing the vampire stuff first?
I mean, we don't know when the vampire things are going down. We just know that at some point the arrows are going to go off them.
I am not leaving until the raid has happened.
Okay. But we can't tell this dude that, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a date for your vampire hunting?
Nope.
Knew it was soon.
Whenever the fates
The divinations
align.
are done.
Just dripping with sarcasm. Like,
Okay, well, do we want to meet with him at least to discuss?
sure.
Do you guys meet with him there in the Rookery itself again?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he already
Most
knows.
protected that it can be,
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he arranges a time, again, kind of later in the evening, and arrives, knocks on the door, and has that same not quite invisibility thing going up. And as soon as he sees Songbird, who I imagine is always the one opening the door, especially when you have guests like that coming, drops that, and again, he's very formal. Hey, can I come in? And stands at kind of parade rest when inside. And so he says, you all have been slow to answer. So now I'm wondering, do you actually plan to go with me and support me in this cause? Or should I begin to make other plans?
I mean, we're definitely going. It's a matter of if we go with you and when. Because we have obligations here that need to be done before we can leave.
Obligations that are more important than a bound that may rampage across Cambodia and potentially destabilize the world.
You know you never break ranks, right?
Okay, very well. I will see what I can do to delay a bit longer, but tempus fugit, even for an acanthus.
Yeah, I agree that needs to be dealt with. But in the meantime, can you tell us anything else about what we're going up against, other than Abyss, maybe?
I know that it is materialized, and there are a number of different creatures there. But beyond that, my information is fairly spotty, and I personally do not have the, the arcana to scry and view in to know more.
And your scouts haven't come back.
Correct.
What about the bound?
The bound itself is, in appearance, is much like a sphinx. It speaks in riddles. It devours mana. It, guards impossible knowledge, which I think is actually how the Abyss got tied to it. I think it originally was tainted when it fell, and now it asks riddles and gives terrible, terrible gifts. Our operational manual basically says to deafen oneself in its presence, to not even hear its riddles, and because of that, I don't know much more beyond that. It is a fearsome fighter, and it will literally burn the mana right out of you. It is unpleasant and dangerous, and therefore bring as many mages as we can, and stockpile our reserves, for lack of a better term. There's no information on actually fighting it, because if the artifacts are all in place and working, it is not even able to move. And its voice is its only real weapon.
Okay, so are you bringing anyone else? Just you?
He says that he is bringing some folks, but not other. That is not how you spell that. Let's see if I can find the right term. Reign of the Exarchs. Where is... There's a specific type of followers that they have. That
are not mages?
They're not mages that work specifically with the Praetorians. I think they're called Myrmidons.
Yep, that sounds right.
Sense.
Okay. But yes, he will be bringing some Myrmidons that will provide some additional muscle, and if need be, fuel for the fire, though I don't plan to use them like that.
Would you be opposed to us bringing some more mages?
If you have more that you can call upon and are willing to work with me, and will be bound by the same oaths that will bind me and bind you, then yes, if you have more allies, bring them.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss the oaths, but we might be able to get some help.
And he looks legitimately taken aback, like the idea that you guys would go from just your cabal to, oh yeah, we're gonna call in some friends for this. He looks thoroughly taken aback and like in a like kind of pleasantly surprised, not a like, oh shit, I'm about to get jumped kind of thing, but like, oh damn, they're actually like on board with this.
No, this seems like a thing that. Do you all think we're prepared to go fight this? No. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you have further allies that you can bring with this, I would not say no to more help, so long as we are all clear on our purposes and what boundaries we have.
Everyone is willing to not stab each other in the back.
Correct.
Or the front.
Or the front. Did have one question. We have a common enemy?
Do we?
Apparently. What brings you here from where you're from?
What specifically brought you to us?
Somebody roll persuasion plus.
Yeah, I'm all
Songbird.
over that.
Yeah, I think
presence
that's
or manipulation?
Present. Actually, I think it's going to be manipulation plus persuasion. Trying to nudge him into stuff. You're not stating a fact and making him believe it. 7 dice, 1 success. Songbird at his best.
Good enough.
Yep.
It's just average, man.
Yeah.
It's how average dice tens work.
And so he kind of nods. He says, "Your rookery is your rookery. Your cabal is mentioned in passing a couple times back where I'm headquartered, and because of past dealings with the Panopticon, and because I know that you are no fans of them, that in this endeavor, especially if it could benefit you and thumb my nose at the Panopticon, then I thought you might be willing allies, and so far you seem that.
Willing, but suspicious, I think is a fair way to put it.
Absolutely. Careful, and I would expect nothing less from, I think he says, worthy rivals.
So you all are talking about us?
So he kind of like there's a very obvious in my head Tony Stark smirk of okay, but yeah, your name has come up on a small, very niche and specific conversation a couple times. You are not the talk of the town.
Sure.
I mean,
don't really care to be either.
Yeah, I don't really want to be,
but you are on our radar.
Okay.
Very well.
Do we know which type of seers are set up at the Supreme Court?
Yes. I'm trying to remember. It's not Mammon.
Chancellor.
Yeah, it is Mammon. That's right. Because it's that, and there's stock exchange bank stuff that's right there too. Yeah. Chancellor / the Cult of Mammon. The money one.
They haven't given us any trouble, yeah.
Mm-mm. Not that you've seen.
Well.
But yeah, no. I imagine there's probably, after that comment and stuff like that, I imagine there's a lull kind of in the conversation. He goes, all right, very well. Find your new allies, and then contact me soon. As far as I know, we have a little bit of time, but let us make haste, because I can't imagine that things are getting better the longer we wait.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Very well. And if nods, backs away, and then leaves. Network kind of chirps up from the back. He says, I think he actually kind of likes us. At least a little bit.
I mean,
respect is
that's the part I don't like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so who the hell are we going to convince to take with a seer?
Yeah, Atratus, who the fuck are we going to talk to?
I mean,
This is where I then, like,
to
now
help.
that he's left, I'm like, what the fuck
Free
was
Council
all
offered
that?
to help. I don't know that they will agree to not fight a seer. That's the thing. We could hit up our friends the werewolves. Logan got a mark for helping us last time.
This
is
I think,
tougher.
beyond them.
Yeah. I mean, it's more muscle.
Werewolves do, especially as a pack, have a big thing about territory. To go chase something outside their territory, like that can actually legitimately get them in trouble with like spirits.
Mhm.
They're like, listen, you claim this territory, you hunt this territory. Why
This
are you
is yours. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I was gonna ask the Free Council. Who else here fights the Abyss? That's what the Guardians do, right?
Shanna?
Like, we have friends.
Yeah.
Shanna has mentioned before teaming up with Sears.
And maybe as a point of advice, at least, if not actual help.
Yeah,
don't like
I was
that guy.
specifically thinking of Factory and her offer of help from the Free Council. Depending on if they're willing to take an oath not to fight the Seers.
Yeah, that might be a tough ask for the Free Council.
Yeah. Fight the Abyss, steal the Bound,
It might
versus
be,
go
yeah,
after a Seer.
that might be a tough decision for Free Council guys.
What about the Guardians?
Yeah, the Guardians, I think, might be for the Abyssal stuff.
Yeah, because we're not... Yeah. We want help fighting the Bound. Because I don't think we're up to it. I have my doubts.
I'll talk to Shodell and see if we can get some.
From everything he said, we will hope to not be fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
If everything is in place to keep it locked down, which he doesn't seem to think it is.
I just from
You definitely-
experience, something with that much ability to change fates, I can almost guarantee we'll be fighting it in some
Now,
form.
that said, it doesn't. It appears like a Sphinx, not necessarily has fatey stuff.
Yeah,
The other thing that, especially because Ash brought it up, Atratus is like, he doesn't seem to. He is definitely coming across as the like, I'm going to plan for every possible contingency, especially since the last group he sent, got fucked up. So he's coming here loaded for bear and hoping not to need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ask Shanna. I was in float the idea at Factory to see if she's willing to go along with it. Because I know we had talked about having them as backup anyway. But he seems to be legit. Songbird, was he lying?
I mean, I cast no spells around him. So I
Don't
can
know.
only take him at face value, and he at us. He at the same, but
I mean, he seems on the up and up.
that's what worries me.
The seams part.
No, it's the, like, out of character. Like, Songbird is having a real, like, seeing a lot of, like, red dread qualities
Oh,
in Abaddon, and, like,
I mean, yeah.
having a lot of, like, and also in himself, like, a lot of through a mirror darkly sort of sensations with this guy.
totally
Just really-
not the name of this arc.
Yeah.
Totally didn't write that at all.
Yeah.
Cool.
So should I go talk to Shodell?
I think that would be wise.
To see if the Guardians are willing to spare anyone to come help us fight the abyss. And I'll call up Shanna.
Cool. Let me see here.
And I'll go hit some metal with a hammer.
Vent some frustration there.
Yep.
Let me look up a couple things real quick. What do we roll in Gnosis in time?
Just a quick divination. Is there an abyssal incursion where the other grimoire is?
That is a statement of fact, not a question of the future.
If we go to recover the next grimoire, will we encounter an abyssal incursion?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't want to take Abaddon's word for it.
Right.
So I'm just because Shodell's going to ask me. All right. So I'll give Shodell a call.
Mm-hmm.
Can I come see you?
Sure. Yeah. Well, not here. Doing other stuff, but yeah. Tomorrow maybe?
Sure.
Okay. Actually, meet at our Hallow.
Sure.
Okay. Yep, little perk. And were you going to call Shanna?
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, so
She's still in town?
yeah, she is. I actually think when you pick up, it probably rings a couple times. And you actually get, and it goes to voicemail, and then you get a call back a minute or two later, and you can hear the sound of like nightclub music in the background, and hey, honey, what's up?
Hey, so would you be interested in going to Cambodia to fight some abyssals with the Seer?
What have you gotten yourself involved in? What?
A lot, apparently. Yeah, we're trying to get grimoires, right?
Right. Familiar.
There's apparently a bound hanging out by this one
Okay.
that the Seers are worried about breaking loose.
And there's abyssal stuff?
That's roughly what we've gotten from it. Dude's been sending scouts that have all died. So he's trying to get friends to come deal with that. And since we're going there anyway, he asked us. Don't ask me why the Seer knows we're going to Cambodia. I don't know.
Okay, cool. I'll skip that one then. And cut to. Yeah, I'll back you up. I don't have any current assignments, so I'm just going to let Oceans know that I'm going to work on a personal project.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just let her know I'm going with you? How are we doing this hush hush or?
No, I've mentioned it around that we had a Seer.
Okay.
Snooping around asking us for help. So.
Okay. I wasn't sure how close you were playing this chest. I'll round out your team and yeah. Cool. How quickly do I need to pack?
Not sure on that one yet. Soon, TM?
So not tonight?
No, not tonight.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, I'm good. Just don't.
I can finish dancing.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Just don't exclude me on any planning once you guys start figuring out times and dates and travel plans. And do we know how we're getting there?
No.
Okay. Cool. We'll
Planes. Planes, probably.
Okay. I'm so tired of planes.
So they have to be.
And because if I remember correctly, Shanna's fairly tall. She's got the badass Amazonian, kind of look to her. Okay.
She could just make herself shorter.
She could. Holy shit. Yes.
Just make herself fucking 4'9" and fit into a seat like perfect.
Fit comfortably on these planes. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. She just has to be careful about between them checking the ID where it says that she's 6'2" and
right.
Yeah. She's got to line that up properly. But okay, yeah, that's true. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll totally ride in a flying sardine can with you to go fight the abyss within a bound with the. Yeah, no, actually, I'll be honest. It sounds like a party.
It's apparently a sphinx. You can't listen to it because it talks in riddles.
What? Okay. Yep. Sure. I'll put it on my list. Absolutely. The Bing. I'm pretty sure it's on my bingo. One of my bingo cards somewhere. Okay.
All
okay.
right.
Cool. We need to like hang out some more.
Yeah. Where are you at?
Name of club.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go there.
Sweet. It's a network and Titus both go, wait, hang on, what? Nope, bye. And so yeah, Atratus and Shanna meet up and go dancing.
We're gonna go partying.
Yep. Weird did that. Oh, Songbird was hammering metal. Was there anything else you were gonna do for the night? Or any specific purpose for that metal other than just working stuff?
Just working out some stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna talk to Hadramiel.
Okay. That night?
Next day, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So I imagine, yeah, Wyrd is off meeting with Shodell and you meet up with Hadramiel. You know, again, some nice big park.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, I have certainly stirred up the hornet's nest, haven't I?
A little bit. I've heard some stuff.
Yeah, we had a whole sit down the other day with the team.
Oh Lord!
As it were.
Did you have a come to Jesus meeting?
Something like that.
Okay.
I've never had a real one, so
We can arrange it if you need it.
I mean, if you really want to.
Okay.
But you gotta have a come to Thor meeting with me then.
There's a little part of me that's really intrigued. So we may arrange that
it's a lot of drinking.
another time. A lot of drinking. I think I can get behind on that. Go ahead.
I have taken the first step to something that we've talked about, though.
Okay.
Um,
and like he because you let him read the notes, but he didn't actually keep them. Right. Okay.
Right. I met with Shiko.
Okay. Right. I remember her.
The Carthians. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I kept it vague, but let her know that. Well, I told her it was about to be election season.
He grins. He's like, "Okay, sure, right, okay." And you think they're our best bet, at least within New York?
They're certainly my personal choice.
And your personal choice is being made with the thought of the concilium as a whole?
Of course.
Okay. Then, yeah, because that's all I can ask you to do.
But also the people at large as well.
And he kind of lifts his head and okay, cool. Like, and the fact that you were thinking about somebody besides the concilium and thinking about sleepers is definitely like a key point for Hadramiel.
I mean, there's like three layers to this, right? Like, there's what I personally gain out of it. There's what the concilium gains out of it. And then there's sort of an idealistic layer of, yes, if they're in power, then things might be slightly better. But they're so at odds with the rest of the kindred that at worst, we're, creating maximum turmoil within their ranks, which is, what the concilium wants.
The hierarch wants, at least. Yeah, correct.
Sure. So, even if, it comes to light that I, poked and prodded, like, I certainly have
You have a good reason for it.
a solid alibi, at least.
True. Okay. Is there something you need me to do as well?
I mean, you are the man with the plan here. I'm just helping as much as I can.
Okay. So we like the Carthians. Okay. I'll back your play.
Okay.
I'll see what little nudges I can make.
I will say, after talking and weighing my options and how I feel, I don't believe that Lucian will have another chance. I don't see, far be it from me to cast a divination, but I don't see a way that is possible.
Okay. Well, that case, make it really stick. Make sure he doesn't get back up. Because if what I read, you put the Carthians in power and then Lucian comes back, we will have a lot of turmoil. Because it will move from succession war to civil war.
Right.
Okay.
Which probably doesn't accomplish the whole good for everyone thing.
No. Okay. I will make some subtle comments to others in the Silver Ladder. I'll make some comments to the Hierarch. And we'll see within the Cryptopolis if there's anything we can nudge and move to undermine the Invictus, at least.
Sure.
I know of a couple vampires who are in that that abomination of a church they have.
Sure.
Me and mine might go vampire hunting. Old school, medieval. And just that Father Victor. Just something bad might happen.
I feel like I can't even touch that page without feeling gross.
And think about where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
right next to me on this bench.
And metaphorically, you know what I mean. Okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to have a terrible accident.
Good.
Maybe we'll have a come to Jesus meeting with him. Because I know what church he works in. And so
maybe a go to Jesus meeting.
Oh, son, you know better. He ain't going to Jesus.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
But yeah.
He doesn't have a soul anymore, right?
Right. At least as far as Hadramiel is concerned. Okay, good. I like these meetings. And I like what I'm hearing from you. You have a lot of potential, Songbird, and I hope that the arrow don't waste you. You'd have made a terrific Thearch, though you probably would have been unhappy. Our conflict all just ends up being debates, and that's probably not the. Yeah, I know that face. Yeah, pats you on the shoulder and says,
"This is enough talking."
Okay, I will let you go.
What was that thing you said earlier?
Yeah, I'll let you go jog a couple
I tried
months.
your way with the talking.
Yes. Now we punch things. Yeah. So I'm going to, he pats your shoulder, kind of stands himself up, and says, and hey, I'm curating my list of supernal beings, and there's some that I'm thinking I'm willing to share, but we'll talk about that once I get them off. And pulls his BlackBerry out. Once we get.
Would you like to know a devil?
Shit. Sits down, and you guys share some info about that about the imp.
Croesus.
Yes. And then last couple minutes, we jump over to Wyrd meeting at the park with Shodell.
Hey.
Your little bird bath fountain thing. Wyrd, how are we doing? What's this meeting about?
So we've been approached by a seer named Abaddon,
Okay.
who is looking for some assistance.
Okay.
He
Very bland and blank face right now.
in Cambodia, we're after the last of our grimoires.
Mm-hmm.
In that location,
Press X to doubt on last.
well, he doesn't even know how many there are, but
Sure.
within that space, or close to where the grimoire is, there's a bound.
Uh-huh.
And also within that area, there's an abyssal incursion. He wants to join forces, deal with the incursion, handle the bound, and let us recover our grimoire. I've done some divination to confirm at least parts of the story. And I'm thinking a bound is possibly a little beyond just the Rookery. And
Depends.
and we don't know the nature or the extent of the abyssal incursion.
Right. And this is something that I think you guys know. Bound are supernal beings,
Mhm.
and they have rank, same as any other. So a rank 1 supernal being bound ain't a thing. That's not a big deal.
Right, but a rank
you know,
1 bound sent like that, is attacked by a team of seers, probably dealt with.
Mhm. Right.
So this was enough to at least wipe out a seer team, right?
So he nods and he goes, okay. And so you come, I imagine, not asking for advice.
No, looking for support in dealing with the abyssal incursion.
Well, and this is where I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm going to ask chat, hey, what's the Goetia ones? Those are gold moths, right? Or Akamoth, I can't remember. Remind me in
Someone
chat.
mentioned a gold moth.
Yeah. Golomoth, that is a rabbit. Yeah, that I believe is the physical ones. So yes. So yeah, he mentions if it's Golomoth, I mean, less of a problem because you just shred that pattern apart, which if you are taking Songbird, you should be okay.
Hi, it's me.
Yeah. He knows the weapon in the party. But some of the more sneaky ones might be a bit of a chase. So at least if it does run off into the astral, I am good there, and I have some owed favors within the astral. So if it slips free, reach out to me, which you can do now, and let me know, and I can join you in the astral, and we will go chase this thing across wherever it hides and burn it out of the Temenos, or God help us, the Anima Mundi. Or are you wanting more than me? Are you and suddenly like shifts gears and he realizes like, are you asking for like the Guardians to come out and get our hands dirty? And he says this with like a big grin.
It's an abyssal incursion. This is in our wheelhouse.
We worry about souls being affected by the abyss, but point made, somewhere in the middle of that is likely some poor soul.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will put the word out, at least. We're no arrows, but there's definitely a couple of us who know the pointy end goes in the bad guy,
Is that how weaponry works? I genuinely don't know.
Because I'm trying to remember, you have 0 dots in weaponry. Right?
0 dots in weaponry.
And what was that? What were you saying?
You have to play nice with the seers.
Yes. But we can, yeah. I'll let the Eptot know and let them disseminate the information. But this is, if nothing else, you have done good service to the Guardians, and so we owe it back to give what support we can, and even if it's in a advisory support role, I'll make sure that we are on hand immediately if need be. And it's been actually quite a while since I've left New York, now that I'm thinking about it. I'll think about it. But is it just the one seer?
Yeah. He has the ability to call on a few myrmidons to provide backup and support.
Okay. Well, yeah. I will pass this up to the Eptot, and when it is time for you to make your move, let me know. Yeah, this, if nothing else, I've never actually seen a bound before. Seen my fair share of, imps and can't remember what the other ones are. Anyways, demons, but no bound. So if nothing else, it may be worth a study and look.
All right. Thanks.
Wraiths.
Thank you. Okay. But then he sits with you and he's, and kind of does a little chit chat of, so what are you up to? And notably is kind of pointing and prodding at, all this space stuff that you've been messing with, and, as in his head, the local Mastigos is, trying to, figure out what you've been doing with all that kind of stuff. So, dang, we have 18 minutes. I don't know. Is there anything else? Crap. Filler. Is there anything else?
Yeah, just vamp for 18 minutes.
Right. But that's it. Yeah. Is there actually anything else you guys had in mind? Because I do have one other thing, but go ahead.
I did want to let Shodell know that I've tied myself pretty firmly to the Rookery.
And I thought you had done so previously. You took those. I've seen the marks around all over Manhattan.
Yeah, no, this is more of a long-term thing.
Care to elaborate?
Tell him to take a look.
Yeah.
Well, he would have to have...
He'd have to have death.
No,
And he definitely does not.
Death? Why?
Soul marks.
Soul marks.
You take a look at the connections.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, have a look.
And yeah, there are a lot of confused faces, followed by, curiosity and going, now, how exactly did you do this? Because that's not Mastigo. Well, what would he say? That's not that's not pandemonium magic.
Nope.
You've
bound my fate to the fate of the Rookery.
That's a hell of a thing. And then you tell me this after you explain that you're going to go and take the whole Rookery down to Cambodia and go fight a bound in an abyss and try and gather a grimoire with the seer.
Yes.
Yep. Do not change, Wyrd. And so yeah, he talks. Do you let him know that, because he's curious, he's got an idea, but like we said, without the death magic, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, you don't have, because I think there's some breach involved to even tell what kind of legacy you've got. He probably has an inkling, but doesn't know. Do you actually tell him that you have founded a legacy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so there's a lot of conversation. Basically, you'll probably spend, not probably giving the full details because that's
I'm
not
gonna
weird,
be-
and that's not
I'm
the
going to be
Guardian
short
thing.
on details. Yeah.
Right. But kind of check in and kind of figure out that kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah, and there's definitely like proud papa kind of look. It's like my little Wyrd has grown up. Songbird is frozen. Okay.
No.
Just sitting here enjoying the show.
Just very
Sorry.
still.
Just very,
I was like, hang on.
very focused.
So then, the other thing, after that, family dinner, you guys all together, and Titus and Network are gritting, and they're like, okay, so we've done some stuff, we talked around, and Titus pulls out a laptop, opens up, and there is a web page, and it is a bird watching site. And he goes, and it's set up, and it's us, and it's links, and it's all kind of tucked away, and it's all code. There's nothing like addressy or like our names or anything like that, but we're kind of putting the word out to the Rescue One knows about this. And I called up Sylvia, and she's kind of passing the word around with them. And if you want to bring it up with Tassos, but we realize that phones and stuff and all that are kind of great, but sometimes we need to be a little bit more subtle. So there's a contact us little forum, and and people can leave messages for us and that are kind of anonymous, and they can kind of let us know. And so we're working on this, trying to kind of set up some stuff. And Titus or Network kind of says, because I'm kind of thinking that I want to reach out to the other sorcerers within New York, like
the
fallen
Nameless
ones.
The what?
Fallen ones.
Hmm.
The ones who are,
The fakes.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
they're doing
Yeah.
real magic, just
Yeah.
not our magic.
Right.
Oh, let's not go around throwing the words like real.
But yeah, because we don't have any, and so and he's like, this is kind of, my thing, but like, we know about the werewolves, we know about the vampires, we know about the dead folks, the sin eaters, but we don't know necessarily who's doing stuff in our neighborhood, and there's probably not a whole bunch.
Sure.
But I kind of want to get the word out on like forums and the dark web and whatever else, and just let them know that we're kind of organizing for, not to be like all dramatic and stuff, but to protect New York.
I hold up my arms to offer network ahead.
Sure, yeah, I'm in for this. Yeah.
Sounds good. Like, I know there are definitely some like psychics and mediums that are real,
Mm-hmm.
because I've hung out with them and done ghost hunting.
Yeah. And so like, and Jimmy basically says, I want to, like, New York is my home. Like, you guys are all from out and about, and I know Songbird, like, this is your home too, but like, I was born, raised, lived, died, like, I've never left New York. Well, okay, I take that back. A couple trips out for like Vegas and stuff like that, but like, this is my home, and we're here, the Rookery's here, Lower Manhattan, and I want to, we'll have to talk to the Concilium and stuff like that before we like expand borders or anything like that, but I want to protect New York. Like I realized that's my thing, and I want to find everybody who's here. And if somebody with some bad intention shows up, like, I want everybody
An early warning system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody know, because I was talking with Rescue One.
I want to know if those fuckers come back.
Exactly. And Titus was like, that was me. I told him about that. And so, somebody enters the territory and throws stuff off. If everybody knows, we can be on the lookout. We can watch them, and we catch the bad guy with his pants down because he's watched for other werewolves and doesn't realize that the lady shopping for groceries over there is a witch and is going to hex his ass. Right? I mean, I haven't gone live with anything. I'm bringing this is the junior partner bringing an idea. I like it. I'm willing to put the work into this. And he's like, bluntly, I'm kind of obsessed with this idea of protecting New York.
You sold us, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
Right
even
from the
if
get-go.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep in contact with people
I spent
instead of giving out phone numbers.
I spent a bit of time as a nameless solitaire before the Guardians saw me. It could be a hard world out there. It's nice to have somebody to lean on.
Sure. So I got 2 thumbs up. Songbird. Cool.
I take it.
Cool.
Oh, can we get business cards?
Yes.
So you just
Yes. Of
give
course
them
we
to
do.
people? Yes.
Yes. Of course.
Shaped like a bird.
Shaped like a bird.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And like Network and Titus high five. They're like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. Which, by the way, high fives from a blind man takes a little bit of extra work. Well, he's got the glasses on, but
He's awesome.
he's like, okay, cool. Then yeah, we're gonna do this. And so with that, because this, I haven't put up stuff yet, but yeah, Network this is his obsession. He gets the one.
Mhm.
And so yeah, his big obsession is protect New York. Yeah. So yeah. So with that, especially because I don't have the rest of his character sheet worked out because whoops, sorry about Patreon polls, guys. But hey, speaking of, thanks for joining us. Glad you guys were here for this and watching. Man, we have Wyrd founding her legacy by summoning the fates themselves. We have Songbird basically setting up is it a coup? It's not quite a coup.
Power grab.
I mean, yeah, we're doing the assassinating. They're just gonna take that void.
Yep. As well as some nudges around.
They're gonna slide into those DMs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a little bit of nudging around in the Concilium with Hadramiel. Atratus is out partying. No, it's also Atratus.
It's the next day.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, Atratus is done. It is, excuse me, not Atratus is done. Emily Miller is done. Atratus, and so she will probably start to, create and forge a new sleeper identity and maybe kind of reintegrate into sleeper society in some way. I'm super curious about that because that was something that Ash mentioned in the break, and I was like, hell yes, I have no prep for this, but okay. Hence, we have a very generic, oh yeah, there's a Silver Ladder guy who does this. Because, let's be honest, it's the Silver Ladder, and much as I love them, man, there's some bureaucrats. So, as always, guys, thank you for joining us. It has been a blast. Thank you also to Twitch chat. I saw a bunch of you. I need to scroll back through chat, but I saw the support for about the last session and about not going into Wyrds and Neuros, and I appreciate that support. I think this ended up being even more fun because we got to watch Songbird's faces. That's a rank 5? You did a rank 5 without me?
I'm so mad.
Yeah. Well, we'll be mad. We haven't got to Songbird gets to be mad yet. That'll be some fun drama. But as always, come join us on Discord, hang out with us, let us know what's going on in your game. What do you think about our game? We have a whole bunch of stuff set aside. We can talk about birds and music. We like our community. I've been very, very happy, and I like you guys. You guys are a blast to hang out with. Check out the patreon.com/occultist anonymous or staylucky.club. The goal, I'm hoping I should have the polls up for figuring out Jimmy Network's character sheet. I have nothing to do this weekend, so that should be actually doable this weekend. And we'll get that stuff up so we can try and figure out what Network's actual stuff is, because when they come back from Cambodia, who knows what might happen, because Network is trying to protect all of New York.
Oh boy.
Lower Manhattan to start, but
If we're going to go huge or go home, right?
yeah. And yeah, definitely check out the Hunter Kickstarter. It's got another week or two, I can't remember. And it has been an absolute blast to check out. There's some very cool stuff, and they get to do weird, crazy stuff with willpower. Like, I'm going to bet my willpower dot on this particular maneuver so we can all work together, and they've got some really cool stuff. I like how they play. Cool. Yeah, I'm good.
I guess that's it.
Yep.
Stay lucky.
Bye.